Alright guys, I am late. I'm really late on doing this video. I do apologize, but oh my god, it's been such a week. Okay, so let's talk some Deadpool. Hey, what's going on guys? Well, I'm back again with another movie review. This time I'm going to give you a non-spoiler review for Deadpool 2. Now, Deadpool 2 stars the titular character Deadpool, and he's back and he is doing everything that Deadpool normally does. He's globetrotting. He is still collecting hits, mercenary, whole 9 yards. So the film basically follows Deadpool as he is continuing to do his thing. In the course of the first act of the film, we have an event that happens that causes Deadpool to kind of rethink his life, rethink what he wants to do, rethink his purpose, whole 9 yards, which leads him to meet a young boy, a young mutant named Russell, aka Fire Fist. And he's called Fire Fist basically because he can generate fire from his fists. So he meets up with Russell. At the same time, Russell is actually being pursued by Cable, a mutant from the future who's come back in time to actually kill Russell. And we don't know why until we get later into the movie. And in order to protect Russell, Deadpool decides he needs some help. He goes to the X-Men, but then decides to form his own group called X-Force. So that's the basic premise of the movie, and I'm just going to jump right into this. If you were a fan of the first Deadpool movie, you're most likely going to love this movie as well. I did enjoy the hell out of the movie. I will say the most positive things about the film for me is obviously Ryan Reynolds' portrayal of Deadpool. He is so committed into this role, into this character. He was the driving force to get the first Deadpool made. So this one, you can tell when an actor puts so much of their heart and soul into a role. It just portrays it on screen, which is one aspect about him that I love. All the new characters I really enjoyed as well, most notably Cable, played by Josh Brolin. And I'm just going to stop right here and say this. Josh Brolin's been killing it this summer so far. I mean, between playing Thanos in Infinity War and now taking on another iconic comic book role as Cable, he delivers the badassery and the presence that you would expect Cable to have. I love the relationship between Cable and Deadpool, and it makes me long for that X-Force movie that we have coming up even more, where Cable is going to be the straight guy and Deadpool is the force of chaos, the comedian, the one he's playing off of, kind of like how Colossus was in the first movie. Out of all the new characters, though, my favorite is Domino, played by Zazie Beetz. I was nervous when I first saw the costume design for Domino when they first released it almost a year ago. Not that I had an issue with her casting as playing this character, but more so is just that I didn't know how they were going to portray her powers. And when you look at the comic book character compared to what we get in the movie, it's a different aspect of the character. It's definitely a kind of a redesign of her, but honestly, her performance was great. I loved it. She plays off of Deadpool very well. In terms of what you can expect from a Deadpool movie, this movie delivered on all fronts. You had the comedy, you had the fourth wall breaking, you had the action, and the budget, because of the success of the first movie, was obviously almost tripled, I believe, for this one. And you could tell they put a lot more effort into introducing new characters and upping the action, upping the story, which compared to the first one was so simple, which also was the greatest part of the movie. Some of the restrictions that you had from the first film, especially with budget, you didn't have that with this movie because of obviously having more money to play with. So some of the scenes in the first movie, as creative as they were, the second movie, you didn't have that restraint, so they were able to up the action, up everything that you had going on with the movie. I will say a couple points of contention for the movie. Number one is that you don't, as much as I love all the new characters, a lot of the returning characters are pushed to the side to service the newer characters more. So Colossus, Negasonic, Blind Owl, Weasel, Vanessa, all the returning characters definitely get less screen time as your Cable, your Domino, your Russell, anybody who served the active story playing in this movie compared to the first one. Another thing that I did notice, and maybe it's just myself, I was laughing so hard during this movie that I could tell that some of the people around me in the theater were not laughing at certain jokes. So not that none of the jokes necessarily landed, but I think there were so many jokes in this one, so many references and things like that, is that if you get caught on one that's like has you almost like laughing hysterically, and they're so close together that you might miss a couple of the jokes in the movie. So I do need to see it again because I missed a couple of jokes and cameos that I really would have liked to have heard, but that's kind of my own fault, not necessarily the fault of the movie. But a little bit more pacing of the jokes might have worked a little bit better. Like the first movie had like the perfect blend of the comedy where everything kind of gave you, like if there was a long run of a joke, it gave you a few moments in between the next run that you could kind of calm down and enjoy the rest of the jokes that you were hearing. Overall, I honestly really did enjoy this movie. Deadpool is a very different character that does take a studio like Fox, who have had success with PG-13 films, but have found their niche in the comic book genre of the hard R rating comic book movie. Between the first Deadpool and Logan, this one definitely stands out there. I don't know if I was going to rank it, if I would rank it higher than the first Deadpool. I think the first Deadpool, because of what it was the first one, and what it accomplished, it's hard to catch that lightning in the bottle the second time. But this is a hell of a good movie. It's super funny. The cameos in it, the surprise characters, some of the twists in the movie are really, really well done. They caught me off guard, and I can't talk about it here because to me that's a spoiler. So I'm going to have that for my spoiler discussion, which is going to be coming up later as well. But overall, please go see this in theaters. It is a fun movie. Is it better than the first one? I personally like the first one a little bit more, but I do enjoy this movie a lot. So that's my review of Deadpool 2, my non-spoiler review. I will have a spoiler discussion coming up later. So please look out for that on the channel as well. If you do like this video, as always, please like, share, and subscribe. I have a ton of other videos on my channel, and I'd love to hear from you guys. So if there are elements of the movie that you liked, why don't you comment down below and let me know. And as always, guys, I will catch you later.